there is some light at the end of the tunnel because we recently got another remake, and I'm hoping that we're in agreement that this one is number 4. Can we move on in the list?
I think
Prime.
That
that
is,
And yeah, we're going with this is our 4th favorite or our
yes,
3rd least favorite.
yeah.
yeah, I think that
And which in are we all in agreement that it's the latest number 6? Or that's what I have on my
That's what
list.
I have.
That's what I
yeah,
have on my list.
I was sort of torn, but yes, I'm gonna go with that.
Nice. So Prime. Now I think we can get off on a more positive note on get out there. Well, Prime gave me that face. What you got to say,
No,
man? This is
I'm gonna say,
don't forget Keenan Thompson's in this one now. Come on, it's our guy.
so surprisingly, the sixth one was not the worst one. Usually, when you hear about this, you think it gets worse and worse and worse. I will say, at least they gave an effort to care about it. Like they tried to make sense of what's happening. Uh, the the little boy, uh,
Not so little boy.
toy,
I mean,
huh?
I said
The little boy, no,
not so little boy.
the little boy toy
Oh,
trope
okay. The toy
was
a reach.
it was a reach for the boys side. Like why would they want to kidnap you and that his part, his reasoning was just I was it was
Yeah, I
just
mean, they didn't have the opportunity to just say, "Hey, kid, here's $100. Shoot the toy." Like that would have been my first approach. You want how much you want for the little doll instead of breaking and entering and like potentially killing and endangering people. Why not just knock on the door and ask? But that's just me, I guess.
I had a few issues with it. Prime and I have talked about this a little bit. I actually watched it not too long after it dropped on Disney Plus. And the primary thing for me is that at the very end, this kid all of a sudden just trusts these adults who were breaking into his home and he thought putting his life in danger. And then he's just like, okay, I'll go home with you.
Yeah, well, let's all kick it, and the
Right.
the family comes over too, right? Like,
Yeah. And it's
yeah,
not
you guys just trashed even though the house was under construction, you guys just ruined my entire house, potentially like almost killed my kid, and now we're just friends, no cops involved.
yeah, they don't really reveal exactly how much the kid's mom knows, but it's just weird. You have to know something. How else would you have any idea who these people were? It's just, yeah. So the ending is strange. It's that the parents have to feel like they have to go and do that, like you said, is odd. And on the note of the parents, I'm just gonna keep going. And this whole slamming against the brick wall scene to the tune of "Oh Holy Night," that bothered me because you have these majestic, very deep spiritual scenes with the choral music in the early films. And I did not, it was a cognitive dissonance for me to be hearing their kids sing "Oh Holy Night" when they're slamming against a brick wall and pulling each other's pants down.
And you know what, that was actually one of the things though I did appreciate about this one is there were many callbacks to the original as far as the music. It did remind us quite a bit. There's always the stealing of the booby traps, but they did a couple iconic ones. I think they had some type of barbell or instead of the paint, remember, instead of they're throwing down the paint cans, they threw down the sugar and milk and the cookies and all that stuff. So I thought they were pretty creative with some of that stuff. But yeah, I did have an issue as well with them all getting together and being friends. It's just, although that was an interesting turn of events, something that we hadn't seen as far as, hey, the burglars and the victims all becoming chummy, but it's just unrealistic. It's just unrealistic.
um did you see that commercial that they did like 2018?
For this one?
Oh no, with Mac for
Yeah,
Google.
yeah.
Yeah, I did.
That's what I would imagine this type of movie to be in 2021. It's like you just call Alexa, or you have the little thing moving, the Roomba. Like
Yeah.
that's what I would expect
Hmm.
this type of movie, not to be like uh,
Keenan was great.
Keenan, his short-lived part was great
Yeah.
because
it's so
I was
funny
waiting
to
for him
me.
to come back, but
It's
yeah.
so funny to me. In real life, he did not know they were the bad guys. Like in real life, he was like, wait. He was like,
Y'all
wait.
the villains, y'all the
Yeah.
burglars, y'all the wet bandits.
Shout out to you already know, because like in the like they watched the trailer on the show. He was like, wait, the parents are those are the bad guys. So yeah.
Yeah, I
Ah,
mean, just looking at
I gotta put
the
that in.
the mom, she doesn't look very menacing at all. I mean,
No.
not at all. But she's a funny actress. So shout out to them. And
And
in general, I think it was pretty funny. It's pretty good. I like Allison. I watched it as soon as it came out. I was excited to get into this one. I think a little bit to be desired from the lead role. I mean, I always just want the baddest, the smartest, most cunning kid that you can get. I'm not sure that that's what we got in this one. He just seemed
so
like a good guy. He just seemed like a good pal. Like, Macaulay's character was Kevin. He was a little devious. He's a little devious.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that. Do you think we got that sense from the lead
no.
in this one?
Okay,
Well,
so have you seen I'll Be Home for Christmas?
No,
yes.
I have not.
Jonathan Taylor
Okay.
Thomas, you probably have
Yes.
Maybe, I don't know.
a long time ago.
If it was that same character that JTT played, that more is like it's like he's almost the bad guy in a sense at how devious he can be. So yes,
So,
I
but
would like it if it was like
do you think that we got as much time with the lead and characterization as we did in the beginning of the franchise?
No, and I think
that.
that
No,
is,
because
to me, that's been the missing part of most of them. Obviously, they've, ever since, let's say three on, they've done a lot of focusing on the burglars. And obviously, the wet bandits will forever be iconic, but it's not something that you can reproduce, in my opinion, especially if you're going to keep like doing the same thing. There's been a couple different changes, but to try to recreate what we got from the sticky bandits, the wet bandits, Harry and Marv, there's just no comparison. And so I would like to see more character development in general from the kid. I mean, we want to see him. Let's see him in school. Let's see him with his friends, or let's see it switched up a little bit. And that's just not a direction that we've seen out of the franchise.
and also they definitely put that product placement of that truck. Look at what this truck can do. He's hiding in this truck. He's watching TV in this truck. It's so
Mhm.
comfy. You can fall asleep in it. So yeah,
We need to talk about Buzz's cameo.
we don't have to because I didn't think that was really good.
Oh wait, what did Buzz do in this? I can't remember.
He was
He's
a cop that was like, "You forgot your anniversary." He
Oh
forgot your
yeah,
anniversary,
I do kind of remember that. Yeah,
and he was
okay.
like,
and
"Nah."
we see him eating for
Yeah.
like a solid minute, and then I do like the part where he doesn't believe that the kid is home alone because he says that Kevin like calls every year as a prank. I thought that was kind of
Right.
a nice little callback.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
and I think that was probably the most elite thing about this one is the callbacks. And yeah, it gives you a little bit of the feeling, but it's just so lost on kids that wouldn't know it. So it's just like it's just neither here or there. But yeah, it is what it is. It's just missing a little bit of movie magic.